Hi everyone, welcome back to my series of videos about the step-by-step guide to surrogacy. This one is a part 2 of the hateful and obnoxious comments you might receive if you have had a baby through surrogacy. Yes, it's a cheery one. Please be clear, out of all of the comments that we have received, none of them have been face-to-face, and they've all been, quite frankly, generated online and directed at me, because I've been talking about surrogacy quite a lot in a public way, which is fine. So that video that we've just had and this video are dealing with some of the things that you might hear and how you may choose to respond. Surrogacy rates have quadrupled across England and Wales in the last 10 years. So it is becoming a bigger thing, and with that, you get more people talking about it, including the ones that we don't like. You've got right-wing governments moving in on to Italy, which is making some laws which are horrendous for families born through IVF and surrogacy. People are fleeing the country because of them. You've got the likes of Trump's America making things a little bit more difficult if you are a gay wanting to start a family. And there is this general pessimistic feeling that things are going downhill and going the wrong way in terms of tolerance and equality. But let's not dwell on that. Let's instead just concentrate on how you can deal with any comments directed your way if you have had a baby via surrogacy. The one I got most recently, what gives you the right to use a woman's body? I don't have that right, quite frankly, but a woman has a right to how she uses her own body, right? Anyway, let's carry on with the countdown. Number 5, we're at the halfway point. The surrogate will want to keep the baby. Or, as an aside, I couldn't do it. I would never be able to give up my child. Should we analyse that? Firstly, not all ladies could do surrogacy. That's what makes surrogates so special, because they are that selfless, compassionate, and want to do this wonderful thing for somebody else without getting anything back from it themselves, other than a deep sense of accomplishment, satisfaction, and love. In terms of the other element, the surrogate will want to keep the baby. Surrogates don't go into this thinking that. They know from the outset that this is something that they are doing for somebody else. Throughout the whole process, there are psychological assessments, there is counselling involved, there is evaluations to make sure that they are emotionally prepared. Certainly in the 21 years that Surrogacy UK have been doing this, I think there have been, at this point, over 500 children born to surrogates in that time. Not a single one of them was born by a surrogate that changed her mind and ran off, and you do hear horror stories, but not based in fact in this country and going through the regulated channels. The surrogates we know that have gone through this process, they describe great feelings of joy at being able to do this, and not great feelings of loss having given away the baby at the end of it. It's a great experience if you are emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually prepared, know what you're doing, and are in it for the right reasons. And by the end of the process of going through the whole surrogacy stages, if you're not the right person for the role, you won't end up doing it. Number 4 on the hateful countdown. It is weird. Gays shouldn't have a baby. Yeah. You could also substitute this with, it's unnatural for a lady to have a baby that she didn't give birth to, if you wish to apply it to your own situation. Look, everyone, I believe, deserves the opportunity to build a family, no matter their sexual orientation, gender identity, relationship status. Surrogates offer this opportunity to help someone that can't on their own do something that they really want to do, it is a loving and it's generous and it's wonderful. But if you think this way, to ask this question, that it's weird for gays to have a baby, then me, as a gay, with a baby, is not going to be changing your mind on this question. So maybe just ignore them. If surrogacy is only for the super rich, well, it's fair that surrogacy is an expensive process, as is adoption, as is any fertility treatments really, and you will find families are willing to sacrifice and save for years in order to be able to afford it. The process for us, by the end of it, will probably be nearly 5 years, and the cost has been spread out throughout that time. We remortgaged our house to help this dream come true. It is not cheap, it is not just for the super rich. And it's important that it costs what it does, because the surrogacy costs include protection for the surrogate and all the legal side of things to make sure things are good and to make sure that she's compensated, and the egg donor if you've gone down the donor route, to make sure that she's compensated, and the expertise and the laboratory costs and the fees and the clinics and things. So the costs are there for a reason. It could be cheaper, certainly not from the surrogate's point of view, because they don't get anything anyway. Number 2, your child will be traumatised. Children born through surrogacy will have a better understanding of where they've come from than children who were born traditionally. It's going to be raised, particularly if you've got 2 dads, it's not going to be avoidable. And children tend to thrive in families where their origin story is shared. We've got a whole book of our journey of how we came to have our child. She's going to see just how much love was in it and how she came about, how much love was involved, even before she was here. Research shows that a loving and nurturing environment is what makes a child feel secure. When children understand that they were brought into this world with love, compassion, generosity, and sacrifice to a certain extent from the surrogate's point of view, they will know how loved they were before they were even here. And the doozy, number 1 on the hateful comments countdown. Your child will be unnatural. They will be born without a soul. Yes, that was also one that we got. Well, firstly, fuck you, because that is an incredibly heartbreaking thing to have to hear. Secondly, advances in reproductive technology have given hope to countless amounts of people who thought previously that parenthood was out of reach. What a gift that is. The medical aspect is a tool and nothing more. All children born this way, before they've even started, are so deeply loved, they're long awaited, supremely wanted, all before they've even been born. Our child had hundreds of people loving her before she arrived on this planet, from wherever she's come from. How could a life born through that much love and longing be born without a soul? Ooh, now we're getting deep, right? I'm sure you have your thoughts on that. Leave them below. Now, I've learned throughout the surrogacy process and through dealing with some of the people who have an opinion about it which does not align with mine, shall we say, that many people don't want to learn. Many people are blinkered. They have their opinion. They're not listening. They are open only to express their own view and not hear other people's. You also get those people who, in a supreme act of narcissism, will turn the whole thing around and suggest that you have the issue because of the way that you've reacted to a situation that they've caused. In the cases of people like that, I would suggest, if they're online, block them, because you are never going to win. And if they're in your life on a personal level, just write them out. Life's too short. You have your own family now, and your concentration should be on them. And on that note, like, follow and subscribe, yay! And I shall see you next time, and there will hopefully be a much more joyful piece of content. See you later.